Okay, so to come into Sirsasana, the headstand, you start in child's pose, just resting on the knees with the forehead on the mat, the arms alongside the body. And when you're ready, you sit up onto the knees. Firstly, you measure your elbows, bringing the inside of the thumbs index finger to the inside of the arms. This is giving you your shoulder distance. You bring the elbows down in front of you on the mat. Leaving the elbows in that position, you stretch out the hands, interlock the fingers loosely. You bring the crown of the head onto the floor. And from here you curl the toes under, lifting the hips up. You slowly walk the feet towards the head as much as you can. And from here you bring one knee in towards the chest, the other one in. And slowly you bring the knees up first, and then bringing the feet up. Here it's important to make sure the trunk is completely straight, you're not arching the back. The feet and the legs together but relaxed. At first you can push down on the arms and the elbows, and gradually you let the weight transfer to the head as you become comfortable there. And from this posture there's a number of different variations that you can do. We show a couple of them, starting with some leg variations. So you can slowly bring one leg forward and one leg back. And you can change at your own pace. This is the scissors. And by doing this, you're giving the legs some extra stretch here and also helping to work with the core strength, the abdominal muscles. And bringing the legs straight again. And here you can lower one leg down towards the floor, keeping one leg straight up as much as you can. And inhaling up, trying to keep the leg as straight as possible, that's up. Exhaling the other leg down. Inhaling up. Good. And then you can also bring both legs down. This is giving a tremendous amount of strength for the abdominal muscles here. Inhaling up. And you can bring the legs wide apart. From here you can twist the hips to the right and to the left. And bringing the hips straight again and the feet together. And stretching the legs up straight again. This is some leg variations. There's also different arm variations you can do. So to do the hand and arm variations, you start off by releasing your hands down flat on the floor first. And from here you slowly bring one hand back in front of the face with the elbow pointing up. And then the other one. Each time just making sure you keep the balance, focusing on the breath. Anytime you feel unstable, just take a moment to gather yourself again. And from here you can stretch one arm out in front, the fingers facing away. And the other arm. From here, if you can, you turn one hand over. And the other arm over. And slowly you can come back, returning each step the way you came. Keeping full focus. And you bring the hands back to the headstand position. Take a moment to steady yourself. And from here we just finish off with a classic posture, Vrishakasana, the scorpion. So this posture is mostly about the technique. It's not too much strength and it looks quite challenging, but if you give it a go and you have the right technique, it's actually relatively simple. So you start first off by bringing the legs apart, about hip width apart. From here you bend the knees, arch the back. From here you release the hands flat down on the mat, trying to keep a 90-degree angle. And here slowly you lift the head up as you pull the shoulders back. Breathing deeply. The important thing here is to make sure you have a 90-degree angle between the arms. As soon as the shoulders are coming further forward, then the posture becomes harder to hold as you're maintaining too much strength in the arms. But as long as the shoulders are right above the elbows, then it's mostly just about the balance and the control in the mind. And to come down, you slowly return the head to the floor. Bring the hands back to the position. And slowly coming back up. And once you're ready, you can slowly lower yourself back down into the child's pose. You take a couple of deep breaths there. It's always important to take a few deep breaths in the child's pose once you've done the inversions, letting the blood settle in the body again. Okay, so next we go through some shoulder stand variations, Savasana. So to come into the classical posture, first you bring the legs together, the arms alongside the body. And you inhale, lifting the legs up, the hips up, and you bring the hands to support the back. It's important here to make sure you keep the trunk as straight as possible, the feet and the legs together but relaxed. Try to keep the chin pushing in towards the chest. So some simple variations you can do just from the shoulder stand. You can start by bringing the soles of the feet together and bending the knees. And here you can stretch the arms up and take a hold of the knees. Trying to keep the trunk as straight as you can. And from this position, you stretch the legs back up straight, keeping the arms alongside the body in Chin Mudra. Trying to maintain the weight of the body on the shoulders, not too much on the neck. And from here you can slowly lower the legs down into Halasana, coming down slowly with control. Once the feet come down, you can stretch out the arms, interlock the fingers. And from here, keeping the legs together, you bend the knees down behind the head, bringing the tops of the feet onto the floor. Giving quite a strong stretch here for the neck, the upper spine and the shoulders. And from here, you bring the feet back up straight into Halasana. You bring the legs apart about hip width. Bending the knees down on either side of the ears, you release the arms. You bring the arms around the backs of the legs, trying to bring the fingers underneath the head, blocking the ears off with a thumb. And you release the hands. Return the hands to the back, bring the feet to Halasana and then back up to the shoulder stand. And from here you drop over into the bridge, so through Bandhasana. You can either come one leg or both legs at once, dropping slowly down with control. For the bridge, you want the feet to be as far away from the body as possible. The feet together, the knees together, pushing the hips up as high as you can, giving a good stretch for the hips and the waist. From here, you can go for the wheel, Chakrasana. So we start with a half wheel. So you take a hold of the ankles, pushing the hips up as much as you can, trying to keep the chest and the chin pushing towards each other. This is Ardha Chakrasana, the half wheel. So now we go for the full posture. You bring the hands underneath the shoulders, the elbows pointing upwards. When you inhale, slowly lifting yourself up. Trying to walk the feet closer to the hands closer to the feet. Trying to keep the arms and the legs pushing as straight as you can. And from here you can inhale, lifting one leg slowly up. And exhale down. Inhale the other leg up. And exhale down. Inhale one arm up to the thigh. And exhale down. Inhale the other arm up to the thigh. And exhale down. So to come up to standing position, you try and transfer the weight to the legs, bending the knees slightly forward. Inhale, lifting one arm up, slowly coming up. And then you can lower yourself back down, following the same process, letting both arms come down behind the head. Bending the knees, trying to keep the weight forward on the knees, and gently dropping down. and then you slowly lower yourself down. It's always a good idea just to hug the knees to the chest a little bit after that one, just to give a little counter stretch for the spine. And release the legs. And relax. Okay.
Hi there, thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the videos in our members preview area.
Our members area has the full content. There you'll find great videos about yoga practice and healthy eating.
Just fill in the form at yoga.org to activate your subscription.
We look forward to seeing you there.
See you there soon. Namaste.
Namaste.